one.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to First Grade Book Talks. Next year, you guys are going from kindergarten into first grade. So you're going to be first graders, so you get first grade book talks. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff that is on your suggested reading list. We're going to tell you about some of those books, and we hope that you read plenty of them this summer. We also want to invite you to participate in our summer reading program, Imagine Your Story, which starts June 22nd. We're very excited about that, too. We're going to offer plenty of virtual online activities for you guys. And so let's get with introductions right away, too. My name is Nancy Sheehan, and I am here today with Annie Hawkeiser and Heidi Zeibig, two of our children's librarians. And so we're all going to be sharing some of the books that we think are just terrific. So why don't we start off with Miss Annie today?
Thanks, Miss Nancy. Hi, everybody. I'm Miss Annie, and the first book I want to share with you today is Be Wigged by Cece Bell. Now, not a lot of people want to be friends with a bee. You know, bees, they can buzz around you, and sometimes they might even sting you. So a lot of people are actually a little bit scared of bees, and that's why Jerry here has a lot of trouble making friends. But Jerry is actually a very friendly bee. You know, he would never use his stinger. But even though Jerry is friendly, people are still a little bit afraid of him. Until Jerry gets a wig. And when he puts on the wig, nobody knows that he's a bee. And Jerry's finally able to make friends. But when Jerry's not able to wear his wig anymore, will he still be able to keep all of his friends, or will people be too afraid? Find out what happens, you'll have to read Be Wigged by Cece Bell. And I'm going to turn it over to my friend, Miss Heidi, for the next book.
Hi, everyone. My first book is called The Wolf, the Duck, and the Mouse by Barnett. Early one morning, a mouse meets a wolf and is quickly gobbled up. He finds himself in the belly of the wolf and quickly learns he is not alone. A duck has already set up house, and boy, is it nice in there. Turns out they get delicious food because whatever the wolf eats, they get to cook. There's elegant tables and chairs and beds and everything. But there's something even better. No more fear of getting eaten by a wolf because they're already there. But one night they decide to have a dance party. And they're jumping around inside the wolf's belly. Okay. But the wolf starts to get sick. And he quickly finds out that maybe he just shouldn't have gobbled down those two whole. And to make things worse, a hunter is approaching down the path. To find out what happens, read A Wolf, a Duck, and a Mouse by Barnett. Go, Nancy.
My first book today is part of the Narwhal and Jelly series, and the series is on your summer reading list, and you can read any of them or all of them. I find that they're like candy, some of these books, and you just want to read all of them if you read one of them. So I'm going to tell you today about Narwhal's otter friend. Narwhal and Jelly are best friends, as you can tell. And Narwhal, the unicorn of the sea, is very exuberant and has a very big personality. And Jelly is a little shyer and a little more serious. And being a jellyfish and being a little more delicate than Narwhal, he tends to be very, very cautious. But the two of them are best friends. They go on lots of adventures in the ocean together. And then one day, Narwhal meets somebody else. He meets Ottie, the sea otter. And Ottie, like Narwhal, also has a very big personality, and she is very adventurous. She likes doing new, exciting things, and she finds a lot of excitement in just about everything. And Narwhal is quite taken with her. Jelly, on the other hand, being cautious of nature, is a little more reserved when it comes to Ottie. And he's also a little concerned about his friendship with Narwhal. Will Narwhal's friendship with Audie mean that Narwhal has less time for Jelly, or that Jelly's a little less important? Someone's getting jelly. Find out how the friends work it all out in Narwhal's Otter Friend by Ben Clanton. And back to Miss Annie.
The next book I want to tell you about is Blueberries for Sal by Robert Mccluskey. Now, have you ever been blueberry picking? If so, have you ever been blueberry picking with a bear? Well, that's what happens to little Sal and her mother when they go blueberry picking. Now, they're just picking berries on the side of the hill, but little Sal really likes to eat the berries. She doesn't want to put them in the bucket like she's supposed to. And Sal gets so carried away with eating those yummy berries that she wanders away from her mother. But meanwhile, on the other side of the hill, there's a mama bear and her bear cub, and they're also eating berries. And just like Sal, the little bear cub also wanders away eating all of those tasty berries. But little Sal and the little bear cub get crisscrossed and they find each other with the other one's mother. What happens then? To find out how a little girl and a little bear get all mixed up and find their way home, check out Robert Mccluskey's classic story, Blueberries for Sal. And back to you, Miss Heidi.
Okay, let's play. Ready?
Ready?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ah, now you've played the game. Now read the legend of Rock, Paper, Scissors by Drew DeWalt. Long ago, in the ancient and distant realm called the Kingdom of Backyard, lived a warrior named Rock. Meanwhile, in the empire of Mom's home office, lived a second great warrior called Paper. And at the same time, in the kitchen realm, in the tiny village of Junk Drawer, lived a third warrior called Scissors. The three were the strongest, bravest, and fastest in all the land. But when the warriors finally met with each other, a most epic round of battles begins. To find out who wins or who never wins, read The Legend of Rock, Paper, Scissors by Drew DeWalt. Over to you, Nancy.
My next book is Naked Mole Rat Gets Dressed. Now, you might want to know, what is a naked mole rat? Well, naked mole rats are these kind of peach-colored rodents, and they're called naked mole rats because they don't have any fur. And so this story is about a naked mole rat named Wilbur, and he is very, very different from all the other naked mole rats. And Wilbur runs into a little bit of trouble, a little bit of tension with his fellow naked mole rats, because Wilbur likes clothes. He likes clothes. He wants to wear clothes. He goes and he gets clothes made, because in the naked mole rat world, there are no clothes. They're not supposed to be wearing clothes. They're animals. So find out if Wilbur can find peace among his naked mole rat family and community by being such an oddball that he likes clothes, and Naked Mole Rat Gets Dressed by Mo Willems.
Oh.
Back to you, Miss Annie. Thank you. My next book I want to tell you about is Do Unto Otters, a book about manners by Laurie Keller. Now, have you ever had new neighbors? Well, in this book, some new neighbors have just moved next door to Mr. Rabbit, and the new neighbors are otters. But Mr. Rabbit's a little bit nervous because he doesn't know anything about otters. He's never met an otter before. And he wonders, will they get along? Will they be friends? So Mr. Rabbit will have to remember the golden rule to help him be very kind and welcoming to his new neighbors. So Do Unto Otters by Laurie Keller is a book that will make you smile, and it will also help show you some great ways to share and cooperate with one another and how to be a friend. And back over to you, Miss Heidi.
That was great. Okay. From the Jump into Chapter series is Meet Mo and Joe, two young cavemen. Chapter 1 is Me Stink. Something smelly in the cave one day. Joe smells something really bad. Ooh, you stink, said Joe. Me stink, said Mo. You stink bad, said Joe. Well, where me stink? It stink. Is it Joe or Mo, or is it both? You might guess the real offender by the illustrations, but you'll have a lot of fun watching these cave boys figure out who the source of the stink is. In Chapter 2, Hide and Peek, Joe teaches Mo how to play his favorite game. But is he a peek and cheater? And in the 3rd chapter, Me Cold, will a prehistoric beast really lend the boys their fur? I don't know. With cavemen talk and funny interactions, you might just declare, we want more Mo and Joe. Also in the series, Andy also and Mr. Ball are also series in this Jump into Chapters. Perfect for beginning readers. Bye. Over to you, Nancy.
Thanks, Miss Heidi. My next book is a fairly new book called Sulwe by Lupita Nyong'o. And Sulwe notices that her sister has a lot of friends and she's really, really well liked. And people call her wonderful names like pretty girl and darling and things like that. And, you know, Sulwe can't help but notice that she gets overlooked and that people don't make up little cutesy names for her. And she knows that it's because she is much, much darker than her fair-skinned sister. So Sulwe wonders, why do I look like midnight when my mom looks like dawn? Or her sister looks like dawn because they have such beautiful fair skin. And every day Sulwe is reminded, because people show her through their interaction, through the way they treat her sister so lovingly, and they don't treat Sulwe the same way. And so Sulwe knows that her dark skin is an obstacle. So she tells her mom about this one day. And her mom tries to explain to her that beauty doesn't come from your sister being light-skinned. It comes from how you feel about yourself. And so Sulwe looks within herself and she tries to see her own brightness and her own beauty. But this is very hard when you see people treating you differently every single day from other people. And so Sulwe is about how this little girl comes to find her own brightness and her own beauty and become a strong, lovely, confident young lady. And so we encourage you to read Sulwe by Lupita Nyong'o and find out how she learns to find her own beauty.
Aww.
And back to Miss Annie. Thank you, Miss Nancy. That was great. So the last book that I want to tell you about today is the book Perfect by Max Amato. So pencil and eraser are real opposites. Eraser is very fussy and likes things very neat and very clean, but his friend Pencil can be a little silly and a little bit naughty and very messy. So Mischievous Pencil is running all over this book and coloring all of the pages, and Grumpy Eraser is trying to get those pages nice and clean again. Do you think Eraser will be able to clean all of those pages in the book? Or will Pencil cover them all with silly pictures? And do you think they'll ever be able to put aside their differences and work together? Well, you will have to find out in Perfect, the Silly Picture Book by Max Amato. And back to you, Miss Heidi.
Speaking of perfect, have you ever felt that you had to be right all the time and perfect? This is the story about The Good Egg by Jory John. He's a perfectionist, and he really, really, really doesn't like to do anything wrong. And because he's so right all the time, he gets annoyed with all the other eggs in the carton for behaving badly. And as a matter of fact, he gets so upset that he starts to crack from all the pressure of being right. So he decides enough is enough, and he's going to leave the carton. So he goes on a little journey, he strikes out on his own. But does he have a good time being alone? Does he learn to be patient with the other eggs in the carton? To see what happens, read The Good Egg by Jory John. It's also the second book in the Bad Egg series. All of them are excellent. Over to you, Nancy.
Well, let's see. I have my trusty tape measure with me today, and I have let's see, and I have my my screwdriver. This is the Phillips screwdriver that has the 4 prongs on it instead of it just being sort of kind of flat. And let's see. Oh yeah, and I have some good painter's tape with me today. And let's see. Oh, and I have this amazingly cool hammer, and I really like this hammer. You know, a worker left this at my house once, and I was so happy. It has it's really, really short.
Oh.
And yeah, so you can get in really, really close with some things. But the best thing is that this person who used this hammer all the time, he put masking tape on the back of it so that when you put a nail, when there's a nail in your wall and you want to take it out, it's nice and soft. You don't scrape the metal against your wall. It doesn't leave a mark. This is really ingenious. And somebody who really knew what he was doing with this tools left me this. So I have all my tools with me today, and I have other tools, but these are just the ones that I have with me today. And so I wanted to talk about tools just a little bit because our next book is about a monkey named Chico Bonbon. And Chico Bonbon, like most monkeys in most children's stories, because I know you've heard about some monkeys in some children's stories, tend to get into some funny kinds of scrapes. And they're always getting in trouble, and they're always trying to get out of trouble. Well, Chico Bonbon isn't just any old monkey that does silly stuff. Chico Bonbon is a monkey always with a plan, because he has a magic tool belt that helps him anytime he is in trouble. And so if you like silly monkey stories, and if you like tools, and if you like watching people get really, really clever and out of jams using their brains and using all their tools, then the series Monkey with a Tool Belt by Chris Monroe is the series for you. So boys and girls, those are just a few of the books that are on your summer reading list this year. And congratulations on making it into first grade. It's very exciting. We hope you do lots and lots of reading, and we hope you borrow plenty of books from Beebe Library and join our summer reading program and show up to some of our activities over at Beebe Library. And we hope most of all that you imagine your story, which is the theme for our program this year. So we'll be seeing you soon. You guys have a great summer, and we'll see you at the library.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.